Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have one of the channel managers on the TPX team that I have the pleasure of working with, David Kline. He goes by DK, right? Goes by DK.
Yeah.
Goes by David Kline or DK, not Dave Klein. Just throw the Dave Klein right out the window.
Yeah.
So DK.
Yeah.
DK's with us today. DK is one of the most experienced channel managers because of his diverse background that I've had the pleasure of working with. And so I'm going to let him tell a little bit about that. So tell about your background briefly and how you ended up at TPX.
Sure. So got started in this crazy business we call telecommunications back in the late 80s, and working with my uncle, who was actually one of the Ma Bell technicians who installed a lot of the central offices across the Midwest for AT&T way back when. So I got exposed to the business a little bit there, and then my dad and I broke off, and we did a business where we'd go to these big apartment properties and we'd put in a phone system and a cable TV system, and we became the phone and the cable company for all the residents in those apartments. And I did that for about 12 years, but then kind of saw the writing on the wall that data, this new thing, data, was going to be the thing. And I had a good background in voice and video, but none in data. So I went to work for a carrier called Electric Lightwave as a data sales rep, so a direct rep, selling primarily frame relay, ATM, those kind of old networking technologies for folks who've been around a little bit. And then they went through a big change and shut down like all the offices south of Sacramento, ELI did. So went and bounced over at Quest and spent some time over there, and then ended up with the artist formerly known as Tella Pacific.
Right.
Based on a relationship I had with an amazing general manager named Valerie Kimball, who was my boss at ELI and had moved to Tella Pacific, and I just happened to call her out of the blue, and she goes, "Wow, crazy timing. I've got this opening I think it'd be perfect for as a pre-sales engineer," which I had never done. But I always kind of had sort of that engineering mindset that I brought as my approach to my sales kind of game. And so I took that job and started as a sales engineer and stayed that way with TPX for about 13 years. The first 9 or 10 supporting direct sales reps out of LA. And then I switched over to the channel and supported channel managers for about 3 years. And then decided to make a switch and get back into sales and carrying a quota when this current channel manager position that I'm in, when that became available.
Well, you're one of those rare individuals that have the technical skills and expertise,
Right.
but you have a personality too.
Well, that's debatable.
Yeah, yeah. Well, most people think you do.
Oh.
So that's a unique thing, and you're killing it for TPX. I know I've seen your numbers. You're doing great, and you've got sales partners all over the place that you're you're helping out. Tell me the kind of sales partner that you can help the most. I mean, there's a lot of sales partners. There's circuit slingers that just want 3 quotes and that kind of a thing. But give a quick profile of the type of sales partner that you mesh well with and you work well with.
So it would be the partner that is a great kind of person that goes out and can get in contact with people,
right,
and get appointments going, but then maybe you might need a little bit of support from, maybe instead of just asking about internet and traditional voice services or something like that, some of the newer managed services that TPX is doing these days, those guys are ideal. Guys with maybe like a VAR kind of background that are really good at selling equipment but aren't really used maybe to doing the services that go along with the networking equipment. Those guys are a great kind of fit for me. Right. So I would say it'd be those types.
So the guys that have a lot of relationships, they know a little bit, and they know that their customers demanding managed services, but they don't know how to speak it that well.
Exactly.
Or get into the trenches. They can pull you in,
yep,
and you can bridge that gap, and you can ask second, third, and fourth level questions before you bring in the real technical team, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, DK, we like to close the show with something personal, but not too personal. There are millions and millions of people watching this right now.
I'll be on my best
So be
behavior.
careful what you say. But why don't you tell the viewers a little known fact about you?
Yeah, so one of the things a lot of people don't know about me and would never guess based on my kind of small size is that actually my passion from the time I was very, very little was to play professional football. And even though by the time I got to high school, I pretty much had an idea that that probably wasn't going to pan out very well for me, based on the fact that I don't have really any size, strength, speed, talent, none of those things that are kind of important.
But the desire is there, right?
The desire was there. So I ended up playing college football anyway. I started as tailback
Nice.
My senior year, yeah.
Very cool.
So most people don't know that, but yeah.
So you approach businesses the same way you approach football. You just drive it home, right?
Well, we're
Here's the
very
ball. Take
competitive.
it.
Yeah, we're very, very competitive. I love when we get the opportunity to get in front of the end user customer.
Right.
A lot of times our partners just take care of that. We
Yeah.
provide their quote, and that they sell the deal. But often they'll invite us in, maybe one or two of the kind of the finalist suppliers, and that's what I really, really strive for and look
Right.
forward to. I feel like one of my core competencies is creating that presentation, being very persuasive to that customer, and kind of creating and communicating that value proposition
Yeah.
to the customer.
Right. Well, DK, I'm proud to work with you, and thank you for being on the Top Gun Show. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right.
All right, thanks, Steve.